So let's debrief the British GP. We had three Brits on the front front row, pretty much. We had George, Lewis, and Lando, 1, 2, 3, in that order. But either way, this race makes me. I feel bad for one. I'm so happy for Lewis. Like I'm conflicted in all of this. So as happy I am for Lewis, like yeah, he won his home GP. He won his last time for Mercedes. It's a storybook win. But George crashing out makes me feel terrible for him. Lando feels terrible for himself because he feels he made the wrong decision. But my biggest takeaway from that, from Lando, is that shows you what Max and Lewis do right every single time. They know what tire they need to be on. They know what tires other people have available to them. So that's that step Lando needs to take if he wants to be a world-class driver. That's what separates Lewis and Max from Lando. And if he wants to make that step, he's going to have to make those changes in terms of like kind of strategy calls, but that. And honestly, too, I feel bad for Charles. Charles has had such a rough go after Monaco. You know, he was on such a high after Monaco, and this triple header has been terrible for him. And for Oscar, too, I feel bad for Oscar because if McLaren didn't mess up Oscar's strategy, we could have maybe seen Oscar up there with Max, up there with Lewis, up there with Lando, and you don't really know what would have happened. Same thing with George. You don't really know where he would have finished. But it just makes it way more crazy if, like, McLaren messed that strategy up twice in the race. They messed it up with not double stacking. They messed it up with the tires. And it's just, I don't know what they were doing. It seemed very strange to me that they messed up twice in one race, which really does suck for them, honestly. Granted, a third and fourth place isn't too bad, but, I mean, you could have maybe been higher, especially with George DNFing. But in terms of Charles and Ferrari, I don't know what's going on with them. Carlos seems to be doing okay, but I feel bad for Charles, man. He is going through it. And then Checo, too. We don't know. There's a bunch of clauses in his contract I have to show you guys that come down to his contract, so that's going to get really interesting. But let me know what you guys thought of the race. Overall, though, I'm happy Lewis won. It's like a great ending, you know, for if that's his last win at Merc, that's the place you want it to be.